Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, the 19th of July 2024. A whole host of news coming out today, and we start off with this. The behind closed doors game against Reading, away to Reading at their training ground, as previously expressed, the club's telling us about these games now ahead of time and afterwards, and we get some pictures and a scoreline, which is nice. So normally these things kind of leak out by the people in the know, and now they're actually published on the club's official website, millwallfc.co.uk. So the Lions defeat Reading in behind closed doors friendly, so a win. Millwall defeated Reading 2-1 in a behind closed doors friendly on Friday afternoon in searing temperatures indeed. At the Royals Bearwood Park training ground, Romain Esse and Zion Fleming found the back of the net to further continue the Lions' good start to pre-season. Neil Harris gave 1:11 an hour in Berkshire before switching things up for the final 30 minutes. Millwall next head to Spain to take on Nottingham Forest on Tuesday night at the Pinatar Arena with kick-off at 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. local time. Okay. How does that work? I thought they were ahead of us. I guess I don't know. So the Millwall team was as follows. Where's the pictures gone? They had pictures on this earlier. They've got rid of them. Oops. The Millwall starting 11 was Jensen, Leonard, Harding, Wallace, Adam Maliki, Imaku, Massey, Honeyman, Esse, Langstaff, and Bradshaw. And the players the team from the 60-minute onwards was Jensen, McNamara, Tanganga, Cooper, Bryan, Watmore, Saville, Denore, Smith, Fleming, and Nisbet. So there you go. Now we have, obviously we know the score and we know the team. We actually have a bit of a match report from the other side, from readingfc.co.uk, and some pictures. Millwall had pictures on their website earlier when I looked at it, and now they're gone. Maybe they didn't get permission. They did have a credit underneath. Maybe they didn't get permission to put them on there. I don't know, but whatever. So this is obviously written from the benefit of Reading, so we can dip bits and pieces and some details relevant to Millwall, but it's mostly Reading. So try and remember that as I go through it. Oh God, what the hell? There isn't. Oh my God, Kelvin Hehiba Tiemann. Bless you. Was on target. But the visitors emerged victorious at Bearwood this afternoon. An evenly contested affair saw us go in at the break ahead thanks to a thunder strike from outside the box. Ihab Tiemann levelled the scoring, but a double save from Kania Boyce Clark wasn't enough to keep Mill out late on. We, as in Reading, started brightly, and Jaden Wareham had the ball in the net inside the first minute. A lovely 1-2 set him up away to coolly dink it over the keeper, but the linesman's flag went up. So there, Mill conceded, but the linesman's flag went up. So, bit of a shaky start. Obviously, Mill tried to create the next chance, but Abraham Kanu was alert. The ball was headed down, but he did well to beat his man and clear the danger. Tiemann was lively, and the pressing nearly paid off as he robbed the keeper of possession in his own area. And the ball rolled to Femi Aziz, whose effort was deflected over, and Kelvin's header from the subsequent corner was high and wide. So Jensen had the ball taken off of him. And the ball got deflected over, so last ditch tackle taken out over there. Just over a quarter of an hour in, and Lewis Wing played a beautiful ball to set Aziz away down the right. He cut inside his man and fired it across the goalkeeper, but his effort hit the crossbar. Obviously, that Aziz was one that we tried to sign. We apparently put a bid in for him, which was rejected. So there you go. Tiemann was then involved again down the left, this time outpacing his man on the flank before cutting in, but his shot was just the wrong side of the near post. Wareham then forced the Millwall keeper into more action. A ball was fizzed in from the right and Jaden flicked it goalwards on the 6-yard box, provoking a reaction save to keep it out. So it seems like it was a pretty decent contest for Millwall. Not the easier game that the Charlton game was. The visitors took the lead 24 minutes in. That's Millwall. So Millwall took the lead with their first chance of the game. A stunning strike for 20 yards out, which flew across Joel Pereira and into the top left corner. Now, so we know Romain Esse scored and we know Zion Fleming scored. So, well, both of them could probably score goals like that. I'm probably going to say that may have been Fleming. We know he can do that. Amadou Mbengu was then called into action after the half-hour mark. A ball over the top put him one-on-one against his man, with the centre-back doing well to battle and outmuscle his opponent before calmly playing the ball back to Pereira. The final chance of the half fell Reading's way. Femi went down on the right again and pulled the ball back to the arriving Tiemann, but his effort again went over. So half-time, Reading's 0, Millwall 1. There's the pictures there. We'll come back to them later. Reading started the second half in the same way. They finished the first, taking just 3 minutes to create our first chance. Wingy recycled a corner and floated it to the far post. Wareham got his head on the end of it, but his effort was just the wrong side of the post. Wing was involved again a couple of minutes later when he played another beautiful crossfield ball to Aziz, who carried it forward down the right. His ball across the edge of the box found John Ryan, who neatly laid it off to Tiemann to his left inside the penalty area, who fired it high and into the top left corner of the net to level up the game. Charlie Savage then sent Femi to find more joy on the right flank. That's Femi Aziz. The winger took it around the keeper and fired it across the face of the goal. It eventually found Tiemann, but his follow-up effort was blocked. Both sides made mass changes around the hour mark, and Boyce Clark was called into action not long after. Remember, that's their goalkeeper. Quickly getting to his right and down low to block the shot from a 1-on-1. In the closing stages of the game, he then pulled off an impressive double save, but it wasn't enough to keep the lines out, with the third effort eventually slotted into the bottom right corner to give the visitors the lead once more. So there you go, and that's probably that would be more like a Romain Esse goal, I would think. The final chances went our way, Reading's way, as Kamarl won the ball back deep inside the opponent's half and played it to Smith, who forced a strong save at close range. The resulting corner found its way to Stickland at the back post, but his header went wide of the upright. In a full-time, Reading 1, Millwall 2. So, yeah, it seems like a pretty hard workout for Millwall. It's pretty similar to how we play, that we let the opposition have all of the possession and play, and we just rock them on the counter and stuff like that. So let's have a look at some of these pictures. You can see, obviously, that's a funny one there of Denor getting stuck in. George Saville going up for that one. Zion Fleming underneath it. We're back to Leonard. So let's see if the ones at the top are the same. No, they're not. So that's Massey there in the middle. Again. Langstaff there. Langstaff. What's that on the socks? Is that the... What's that? What is that on the socks? Is that the Urea logo? Oh, it looks like it. Okay. Okay. And there's the benches there. And we're back to the start. So there you go. You can see that Millwall beat Reading 2-1 and had a bit of a tough go of it under the intense heat of the hottest day of the year so far. So there you go. Now, moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk. Why are all these games behind closed doors? Well, let's find out. It's become the norm in football. Neil Harris explains why Millwall have so many behind closed doors friendlies. The Lions play Reading today in their third game in the summer without fans present. Neil Harris said he understands why clubs have so many pre-season games behind closed doors, but admits he prefers the old-fashioned approach. Mill played Charlton Fleck on Tuesday and will play Reading later today, all without fans present to watch their teams ahead of the new season. In total, the Lions will have 4 behind closed doors games this summer and 4 in front of fans, including their 2 matches in Spain next week. Behind closed doors friendlies have become a growing trend in football as they are easier for clubs to arrange. Lions boss Harris said, the last few years it's been quite the norm in football almost. Unfortunately, it costs a lot of money to put games on nowadays with risk assessments, health and safety, stewards and policing and stuff like that. So you end up charging quite a lot of money for people to come, and some people want to come, but the majority don't. So it's almost like a lot of teams have just said, look, let's just do it behind closed doors. I mean, it suits the trialists, etc. For me, I'm still a bit old-fashioned, and I would like to play a few more games in front of the fans. But I totally understand the full process. Pretty much of every football club in the country that does that. What I will say is the club have done really well to open up the trip to Spain to supporters to go. And I know it's a long way, but the Gillingham one is a local game. But when we go to Spain for 2 games, mums and dads can bring the kids if possible and have a little break. And we feel like we've opened it up, but I do sometimes miss the trips to Bromley, Dartford and Welling. Well, I think you are probably the only one, if I'm honest. It's become a bit of a joke now when we're waiting for the pre-season fixtures to be announced. Like, announce Bromley, announce Welling, and but there you go. Now, there is a game tomorrow. If you are, and it's a Saturday at 3 p.m. It's Wealdstone versus Millwall under-21s. So Millwall under-21s travel to Wealdstone for a pre-season friendly on Saturday afternoon, kick-off 3 p.m. Kevin Nugent's side, defending Professional Development League South Division champions for a second campaign running, kickstart their programme against the Vanarama National League outfit at Groves Naval. So there you go. If you didn't know, that's in Ruislip. The boss is set to field numerous trialists against a side which housed Carl Smith on loan last season. The likes of Chin Ockley, Tom Leahy and Frankie Baker, who all signed deals with the Lions this week, look likely to feature. More on that later. Tickets for the fixture are on sale, but you can rock up, and they're priced at £10 adults, £7 concessions and £14 for under 18s. 14? I think that's a typo. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to say 4. Yeah, that can't be right. I think that's £4 for under 18s. Just call that now. If you don't know where that is, that's in Ruislip, HA4 6JQ. It's way up in the northwest, right near the RAF museum, kind of near up that way. So car parking, not really. They recommend you don't travel by car, but what can you do? If you're paying for it, you might as well use it. That's what they don't understand. They keep putting all these fees and stuff on it, and you're paying for it. And well, if you're paying for something, you're going to use it. You're not going to leave it sitting outside your house doing nothing. But yeah, these are all the options. If you want to see it, just pause it and have a look. So, and there you go. Now, if you're not going to that game, but you do want to watch a game, and you're not flying to Spain, you can watch the game in Spain. Only one of them, because one of them kicks off in the evening and one of them is a afternoon game. So watch the Lions take on Nottingham Forest in Spain on Millwall TV. Lions fans not heading to Spain can watch Neil Harris' side take on Nottingham Forest on Millwall TV for £5.99, which is a funny number, but I believe that's probably connected because Nottingham Forest are priced theirs at £5.99, and if Millwall priced theirs at £5, you would get a load of Northerners signing up for Millwall and to save 99 pence. Yes, you would, for real. There are insane people that would do that just to save 99 pence. So there you go. £5.99. It's on Tuesday. So Mill will play out the first 2 pre-season fixtures at the Pinatar Arena on Tuesday the 23rd of July. Kick-off at 7 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. UK time. with match passes now available to buy. So that is available right now. So if you are going to be in front of your computer at 6 p.m, you can watch the game. Get your first eyes on Langstaff, I assume. We obviously know Tanganga. Hutch obviously wasn't involved today. I imagine he's got to do some pre-season fitness stuff. Who else have we got? The new goalkeeper. Yeah, so obviously against a quality side, Nottingham Forest of the Premier League. They've got 2 stars in their logo. That's because they won the European Cup twice. No flies on them. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. Might burst the bubble in terms of, obviously we're unbeaten so far in pre-season. I think today against Reading was the first goal we've conceded in about 7 games. So obviously we'll see how we go against Nottingham Forest, because if we get a decent result in that game against a decent side, I think we might have to start re-evaluating where we think the side will finish next season. So there you go. Now, talking about players signing earlier, we have news that 8 academy prospects have signed the new deals. Now, at the end of last season, Millwall had to issue a retained and release list, which obviously they did mention Sean Hutchinson was on that list, but we now know he had to be on that list because it's the rules of how it is, but they were always looking to maybe re-sign him if they could. We have this, so you can see here, this is from footballfragmento.wordpress.com. Players offered new contracts. So these are players that were offered new deals, and we didn't know yet whether they would accept them or not. Some of them are junior players, or most of them are actually. Yeah, I don't think any. We didn't have any first team players we had offered a new contract to, who their stuff had run out. So those are Kamarl Grant, Tom Leahy, Chin Ockley, Carl Smith, Jamal Lawson, Josh Stevenson, Alfie Massey, Frankie Baker, Jack Howland, and Cavalli Haywood. Okay. Now we have news now that some of them have signed, well, most of them have signed them. Only 2 haven't. So Millwall Football Club is delighted to announce that 8 academy prospects have signed their new contracts at the club at under 21 level. Tom Leahy, Chin Ockley, Shamal Lawson, Carl Smith, and Kamarl Grant have all put pen to paper. The quintet, integral to the Lions' second successive Professional Development League South title last season, will now look to push towards being involved in Neil Harris's first team squad, whilst continuing to impress for Kevin Nugent's side. Elsewhere, under 18 trio Alfie Massey, Frankie Baker, and Jack Howland have penned their first professional deals. Now that is incredible, because I did not realise, because Alfie Massey was kind of in and out for the under 21s, that Alfie Massey was an under 18 player, which is insane because he's playing in Mill's pre-season and he doesn't look out of place. He looks pretty decent. He must be at least 18 years old. Depending when your date is, you can still play for the under 18s. So that's incredible. Larry McAvoy and Chris Berry's side enjoyed a fruitful 23-24 in cup competitions, reaching the semi-finals of the FA Youth Cup and winning the Professional Development League Cup, with Massey, Baker and Allen now making a step up to the under 21s in 24-25. So these are the players, more or less, that you're going to be seeing featuring if you go to Wealdstone. So obviously one of them won't be involved, because he's gone out on loan, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But the names missing, some of those names have not been mentioned. If you didn't, let me just run through these pictures first before we get to that. If you didn't know who they are, so that's Shamal Lawson, that's Tom Leahy, that's Jack Howland, that's Frankie Baker, that's Carl Smith, that's Chin Ockley, that's Kamarl Grant, that's Alfie Massey, and we're back to Shamal Lawson. Now, which 2 players have not been announced as signing their new deals? Josh Stevenson, who earlier we mentioned on this channel has been linked with signing to Everton, which would mean compensation for Millwall, and Cavalli Haywood, which is a bit of a shocker. So we wait to see. Obviously, we've had this before in previous seasons with Abdul Malik, where he was going out on trial, trying to sign for clubs, and then when the clubs found out how much Millwall wanted in compensation, they said, "Yeah, no thanks." And if they don't come to an agreement with Millwall, then it then goes to the tribunal. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, as we mentioned previously, and I think yesterday as well, if these players decide to leave the UK, not the UK, but England, the English FA system, the compensation to Millwall will be a lot less. And that's how it goes. We saw that with Rangers taking Zach Lovelace. He went up there. I think he was probably just to be here for a season or two before coming back down. But obviously he got injured incredibly, and now he's. We'll see how that turns out for him. I don't think it's going to turn out well, but we'll see what happens to Josh Stevenson and Cavalli Hayward. So there you go. It's either going to be we announce that they've re-signed, or it gets announced that they've joined Everton or wherever they're joining. So, and Mill will get compensation for that. So there you go. Now, as mentioned, one player who you won't be seeing at Wealdstone tomorrow for the under-21s is Kamarl Grant, because he's gone back on loan to Bromley. Bromley obviously won the playoff final in the National League. They're now in League 2. So that means that Kamarl Grant can go back out on loan to Bromley, and it's still a step up because he's going to be playing in a higher league. And he did all right on his loan in Bromley in the National League. So you'd think, he comes back, we've got to loan him up to a higher league for him to get a better standard of football, because he's proven himself in the National League. Well, that is possible now. He's gone back out on loan to Bromley, which is good because obviously he's been there before. He knows everyone there. He's going to be playing with players that he knows, managers that he knows. So it's all good. Hopefully he can rock on and continue. But so yeah, Kamarl Grant has joined Bromley on loan until January 2025. So it's just till January. The centre-back who played his part in gaining the Ravens an historic promotion to the EFL via Vanarama National League playoff final 23-24 will rejoin the Hazelane outfit as they embark on their maiden campaign in Sky Bet League 2. Bromley open up their campaign at Harrogate Town on Saturday the 10th of August. Keep an eye on millfc.co.uk as the Lions Loan Watch feature recommences for the new campaign. Or indeed, if you are going to be a Sky Plus subscriber, this gives you a reason to watch Bromley's games, because obviously they're selling Sky Sports Plus as you have all of these games at your fingertips, and most of us just want to watch our own teams. But now, if you can see where the Millwall players go out on loan, you can watch them and see how they get on. So there you go. Now, did you see this morning? The internet crashed. Can you believe the whole internet around the world crashed? Isn't that funny? All these weird things happening at the moment. All these weird situations happening. So this is from millwallfc.co.uk. They put this up this morning, trying to warn everyone: a worldwide IT outage affecting ticketing purchases. Due to a worldwide IT outage outside of the club's control, all ticket sales, online and in person, are currently unavailable until further notice. Please do not travel to the Den to purchase tickets. The club will provide an update when systems are back online. Yeah. Apparently it was something called CrowdStrike, which is I think is a DDoS protection antivirus or whatever thing for servers, and that they did an update that killed the thing. So that was fun, isn't it? It's funny that I believe when the reason why the internet was invented is that it would be decentralized systems that could all talk to each other in the event of a nuclear war, post-nuclear apocalypse. And now we seem to have a homogenized system where everyone uses Microsoft Windows and everyone uses all the same companies and the same software. And when you have a problem, it is instant and worldwide. And yeah, that's entirely not what the internet was supposed to be, but hey ho, isn't that funny? Now, moving on to, what are we moving on to? Moving on to interview with George Honeyman from the londonnewsonline.co.uk, which obviously is the South London Press, which is published on a Friday. Go to your local news agents and pick up a copy. More to come from me in a Millwall shirt. Lions versatile midfielder hopes third den season will continue career pattern. George Honeyman believes he will get better the longer he stays at football clubs and hopes that the trend continues as he enters his third season at Millwall. Now, this is funny. A couple of weeks ago, he put out a similar thing. He did a similar interview with the South London Press, saying how he's incredibly happy to be living in Beckenham and how he loves it so much. What is going on? Is he trying to get a contract extension already? And is he trying to counter some dark forces at the club that are trying to force him out? I don't know. Well, I would say if you can, when you get on the pitch, just do the best that you can, and then you'll get the contract that you get. Or maybe it's because he's 29. I think maybe he's 30 this year and he wants more than 1 year contract. I don't know, but we'll see how we go. Like, this is weird that this is like the second interview that he's given in a month about wanting to stay at Millwall. Honeyman spent the entirety of his senior career at Hull and Sunderland, along with a short stint at Gateshead as a youngster, before moving down south for the first time to Millwall. The 29-year-old joined the Lions on a 3-year deal in June 2022 and has featured 72 times in a multitude of positions during his time at the Den. So yeah, so June 22, June 23, June 24, June 25, his contract's up next season. So, and Millwall never put out, they always say long-term deal, they never say it's 3 years, it's 2 years. So he's literally saying, my contract's up at the end of the season. Can you renew it, please? I don't want to go back up north. Oh, please, no. So he says, it's been 2 very contrasting seasons, Honeyman told the South London Press. In spite of maybe the club's results, I felt that I've had a decent patch of form midway last year. I feel as though I've got more to come from me in a Millwall shirt. I'm very happy here, and the fans have been amazing to me and my family. And anyone who can feel that self-worth at a football club will perform better. I get that feeling from the fans. They make me feel worthwhile and respect me. And that's when you can produce your best. At my previous clubs, the longer I've stayed, the better I've got, and hope that's another indication for this year. I haven't been disappointed with how I've performed or how the team was, and we would have liked a better team finish last year. I'm pleased to an extent, but there's still a lot more to come. There is more life in my Millwall career to give, and hopefully we can push myself and the club on to do that a little bit extra. When Neil Harris returned to the Lions in late February, the versatile attacker played predominantly in a wide position on either side of the midfield 4. Honeyman's career has seen him turn out nearly 200 times as an attacking midfielder. Me and the manager have spoken about it quite a lot, explained Honeyman. I've told him that I think I'm better through the middle of the park, and whether that's as a number 10 or a central midfielder. And the manager said to me that he likes how versatile I am, and to be realistic, and that I'm probably going to play in a number of positions again this year. And I would rather that than play 20 games in a certain position and then miss 20 games. Anything to get me out on the pitch. The goal for me personally is very much to be part of a successful winning team. If that means me playing out wide and brings that, then so be it. And I'm more than happy to do that. And the Prudhoe-born player has picked up 27 goals and 31 assists as an attacking midfielder, but only recorded 2 assists last year for the Lions in the wide role. Selfishly, I think I'm better when I'm more involved and can get around the ball, he added. Even defensively, I think I can make a big impact. When you're out wide, it's inevitable that the game might drift down the other side and you might not be involved for the next 10 to 15 minutes. And I'm best when I'm in and amongst it to be in a mixer. One of my strengths is that I've got a pretty good stamina. I think I can always be moving to get things, to make angles and runs. And I can bring that out wide as well. It's just a bit of a different discipline. I'm fortunate enough to have been trusted in a lot of positions. If I'm contributing to a winning team at this stage of my career, that's all I want. Honeyman started Mill's first pre-season outing in front of fans last Saturday, a goalless draw with League Two side Gillingham. He made it through 63 minutes before being replaced by Kamarl Grant. The last time Honeyman stepped onto a pitch at the Priestfield Stadium last year, he was forced off after 20 minutes into Mill's pre-season outing with a thigh injury that kept him out until October. "Oh, I'm feeling good," said Honeyman, reflecting on his start to the new campaign. "It's hard for me to not draw comparisons on the last pre-season when I only made it through one and a bit games and then I was out for a good while. And I like to think of myself as one up on last year, individually anyway. And we're going to have a slightly longer pre-season because that's how the schedule's worked, and we've got lots of games coming up. It's nice being back with the lads and seeing everyone. It's been a good camp so far, and I was very conscious not to extend myself so far that my body just breaks a little bit. I'm feeling really good, and long may it continue." So there you go, basically begging for a new contract. Like I said, if you play well, I mean, you're going to get it. Now, does he want a 1 year, 2 year? We'll see how we go. Maybe give him a 2 year contract, and in 2 years we'll see how Alfie Massey's getting on. Because if he's that good at 18, what's he going to be like in a couple of years? Now, moving on to this. This is a weird one. From millfc.com, Mill will team up with Spreadex. Spreadex. Who? What? Millwall Football Club is delighted to welcome Spreadex as official sports betting partner ahead of the 24-25 season. The partnership will include extensive exposure for the brand across the club's LED perimeter advertising boards, alongside a presence across Millwall social media channels and official website. With plans to offer a number of promotional giveaways to Lions fans throughout the season. Spreadex uniquely offers customers access to financial trading, sportsbook betting and sports spread betting, all in one place. The firm, which now employs more than 200 staff at St Albans headquarters, has been operating since 1999 and is regulated by both the Gambling Commission and Financial Conduct Authority. So there you go. This probably explains Millwall's transfer budget. Is this where we're getting all the money from? Someone's had a big win on the spreading betting market. I don't know. And then there's some quotes there, but I'm not going to read them. I'm just going to leave them on screen. You can read them if you want. Now, moving on to this, which is a weird one. So we got this again from the Irish Mirror, and they're talking about Stoke City and Shelbourne, something. And as we get down, there is just a line at the end of the story. Elsewhere, Shamrock Rovers under 20 prospect Ryan Kelly is being tracked by Championship side Millwall and Serie A outfit Torino. What does that mean? Well, I think being tracked usually means that there's a scout from Millwall going to the games, because obviously they get free tickets. They just say, "Hey, I'm a scout. I'm from Millwall. Can I have a ticket for this game?" And then they get a free ticket, and that's how it goes. So it's either a scout for Millwall or someone taking a piss to try and get a free ticket. But there you go. And that is literally it, but it's been spun out by other places into a whole page for you to click on, but there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.